Hello, grade 12s. How are you? Today we want to look at some of the questions in the prelims, in the mock to prepare us for the prelims. So let's start with this paper 1 question. Solve for x. And let's look at the first question. It says 4x squared minus 25 is equals to 0. We are supposed to solve for x, and it's 3 marks. So we need not to waste time there. What you need to do is, this is minus 25, so you transpose it, it's going to be plus 25. Then we need to transpose this 4. So you divide both sides by 4 because it's multiplying. So you divide the left hand side by 4 and this side also by 4. And when you do that, let's use our calculator here. So 25 divided by 4, what is that going to give us? So you see that this one is going to give us a decimal. So what you need to do is, don't write the decimal, just leave it as it is. Alright, then you take a square root because we are solving for x. This is still x squared. Let me repeat. You will be tempted to divide and write this one. Leave it like that as 25 over 4. Then take the square root. When you take the square root of this one, what are we going to get? Let's look at the square roots of that one. So we have the square root. Remember, we are also learning how to use the calculator as well. So here you press this, then that one, then 25 over 4, which is going to give us 5 over 2, which is this one. Alright, it's so easy to get all the 3 marks there. Then let's look at the next question. This one also says solve for x. We must correct it to 2 decimal places. What are we supposed to do? First, transpose this plus 4 to the left hand side to be minus 4, which is equal to 0. Then we are supposed to use the quadratic formula. So our a is this 3, our b is this 5, and our c is this minus 4. Okay, then you go to your formula sheet, you find this formula there. Just check, write the same thing on your answer script. Then we are going to substitute our a, b, and c into this formula. You are not going to have any marks for writing the formula, but it will assist you to get the marks. There is marks for substitution. So here, let me leave the formula at the top. This is the formula name. This is our formula. Let me leave it with our substitution. Okay. Now, if you substitute, your minus is this one. Your b, which is 5, is this, plus or minus your b, which is 5, squared. Then minus 4, then your a, which is what, 3, times, when you put bracket there, this is AC means a times c. So if you put bracket there, it means it's times. So your a, which is 3, you see that it's in bracket. Normally when you are substituting, put it in bracket. Then your c, which is minus 4, you put it in brackets, over 2a, which is 3. This substitution, you are going to get a mark there. So you take your time, then you substitute nicely to get that mark. I know you can do it. Then you press on your calculator. Let's press on our calculator. Let's see how you're going to press on the calculator. Let me close this. First, this is a division, so you press this. Then this minus, you press the minus. Then our bracket, 5. Then it's plus or minus, so we start with plus. Then square root, this square root. So you press the square root. Then into bracket, you have your bracket, 5. Close the bracket. It's a square, so you press this square. Then minus 4. So you press the 4, then bracket, this bracket, 3. Close the bracket. Then another bracket, minus 4. Close the bracket. Move the cursor down. We want to press this one. So 2, bracket, 3. Close the bracket. Press equal. You see that you are going to have this for the plus. Because it is plus or minus, just bring the minus there. You get a full mark there. You have mark for substitution. You get a full mark most of the time. The discriminant, which is 73, you have mark there. So write a plus or minus is fine. Then what we are going to do is we need the marks. We need the answer for the plus. So when you press equal, you have this. Press the SD. You see that you are going to have 0.59. They said 2 decimal place, so 0.59. You get your mark here also. Then the next thing you need to do is we need to get the other, because it's plus or minus. You only did plus. Alright. So how do you get a minus? Move the cursor back. So you use the back arrow. So you move it. You see that we are moving it back. You see the cursor. There's the cursor. Move it back. So you continue to move it back to the plus. Then you delete the plus. You put minus there because it's plus or minus. Ne? So that we've already done with the plus. We want to deal with the minus. So we remove the plus and put minus there. Press equal. You see that it's the same. We have minus there. So you press SD. You have negative 2 plus 2,57. We want to round it to 2 decimal place. So it's going to be 26. Then you write. So negative 2,26. Let's check the calculator again. You see it's minus 2, you see dot on the calculator is comma, you write comma 2. You see that this 7 is more than 4. So you add 1 to this to be 6. Is that okay? Good. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is also this one. We are still solving for a 2x squared, 2 exponent x minus 5 times, dot means times, 2 exponent x plus 1 is equal to minus 144. The first thing you need to do is you expand this one. So you see that I've still written 2 exponent x minus 5 I'm going to expand this, so I'll have 2 exponent x dot 2 exponent 1, this one. Then I'm going to have, let me put it on that question, this side on that question. Okay, so this is the question. Okay, then what am I going to do? You see that this minus 5 is multiplying 2 exponent 1. When you multiply it, you are going to get minus 10. How did you get it? You can press on your calculator. Let me close this. So I'll have my minus 5. This minus 5. Dot means times. So 2 times 2 exponents. We are no more using this. I'm now using this exponent what? 1 equal. It gives us negative 10. You write your minus 10 here. Then you see that this and this are like terms. 2 exponent x, 2 exponent x. They are like terms like y and y. But in front of this, you have 1. It's like 1 dot 2 exponent x. So since they are like terms, we can add and subtract. So it's like 1 minus 10. And 1 minus 10 is going to give us what? Negative 9. Let's do that. You know that one is simple. So 1 minus 10, which is minus 9 here. Then what are we going to do? We divide both sides by negative 9. If you divide both sides by negative 9, you are going to get 16. How did you get a 16? Okay, we are going to have this one minus 144 divided by minus 9, and it's going to give us 16. So easy, no? Okay, we need to get all those marks there. Then this side, what are we supposed to do? This is exponent. The inverse of exponent is log. So we are going to transpose this to, this is the base. So 2 exponent x, we want to transpose the base. It's going to be the base of log. Alright, so you are going to have log 16 base 2. So how do we press that on the calculator? Where is our log? This one. You press this. Then here, what do we put there? 2. You move your cursor to this side. Then 16. And what's that going to give us? 4. So when you press that on the calculator, you are going to get 4. Alright. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is also easy to get. Now, the question says we should solve for x. 2x squared plus x minus 3 is greater than 0. We need to find a critical value. So to find a critical value, you use the quadratic formula. Then you have your a, b, and c. Substitute it into the formula. We've done this before, so your a is 2, your b, this 2, your b is 1, even though you don't see anything here, b is 1, and c is minus 3. So what are we going to do? Your b is, so you have your minus, your b is 1, plus or minus your b is 1, squared, minus 4, your a is 2, your C is minus 3 divided by 2